Our mics are now live. I have 7 mute buttons. It wouldn't be a professional stream if Grant Ellis didn't mess up muting the mics. Hope you're enjoying your holiday season and that you are ready to be delighted and entertained and thrilled tonight as we have assembled a team of role players unlike any other. Now, I'm shooting for the moon with this broadcast. This is going to be the #1 stream on WebDM all year.
Oh my
God. We're going to get the most views. We're going to get the highest ratings. I've already shot myself in the foot. This is where they're going to pull the plug. Grant's fired. We'll find another producer. So, my name's Grant Ellis, and I'm the producer of WebDM Plays. And tonight we're doing a WebDM Presents, as the typical WebDM crew is not around, and we're bringing in some delightful role players. Some on less than an hour notice. Some have been looking forward to this for weeks, and some have been preparing for this stream their entire lives. Lucian, and We're gonna play Visigoths versus MALLS GOTHS, a special one-shot, Deck the Malls. I wrote the adventure scenario myself, and we're delighted to see what happens. For those of you unfamiliar with the game, Visigoths versus MALLS GOTHS tells a story about two groups of outsiders who don't get along. The Visigoths sacked Rome in search of a homeland, and then a careless suburban MALLS Goth in 1996 accidentally teleported their entire community into Los Angeles, where they took over a shopping mall. The Visigoths never forgave the MALLS GOTHS for uprooting them, and the MALLS GOTHS never forgave the Visigoths for trying to push them out of the mall. This means war, to quote from the book, or paraphrase at least. But before we get into the game and the Saturday morning cartoon zaniness that is about to ensue, let's introduce our cast and talk about who we might be playing tonight. First, the amazing community manager of D&D in the castle, someone who I produced for during Gen Con with the Star Trek actual play, Aki.
Hi, everybody. I'm Aki. You might have been expected to see Abria Iyengar, where I am currently sitting, but I took one for the team and am hanging out in her place. Hopefully, I do her gloriousness justice today. But yeah, here I am. I'm excited. This should be fun. It's my very first time playing this, so.
In my Dragon Talk sibling, we were on the same episode of Dragon Talk together. Drak, how are you?
Hey, I'm good. Hi, I'm Drak. I'm very excited to play. I played this once before, and it was a lot of fun. So I'm very excited to play again. I don't know. Do we just talk about characters, or are we going to wait for that?
We can wait for that. We'll get to that. Okay. Also, author of the game, and really, we don't always invite cats to play on WebDM, but Chonky Cat, Lucian Khan, how are you?
I'm good, thank you. Hi, I'm Lucian Khan. I wrote Visigoths versus MALLS GOTHS, and it's meowvelous to be here tonight. I'm happy to do this. I almost never get to actually play the game, like not as the mall rat, because I spent like 2 years making this thing and playtesting it and running it like 300 times. So it's a treat for me to be here and to get to play as a cast member, and to meet some new people and to play with Drak, who I know but have not gotten to play with before. So this is fun. I'm happy to be here.
Likewise, joining us for the first time here on WebDM, the marvelous, invited by Drak, but has just been an absolute delight to follow on the Twitters and the internets. Fellow East Coaster, Liv, how are you?
I'm doing well. Hi, everybody. Yes, I'm new here, but yeah, it's good. I'm excited. I have been wanting to play this game for very long. We'll see if I'm good at it. Hopefully, yes. The answer is yes, but I'm going to have fun no matter what.
Well, Lucian will be handing out grades at the end of the adventure.
Yes.
We promise not to post them on screen. Our academic transcripts are, in fact, private based on FERPA regulations here in the United States. For those of you
are you just like nervous?
FERPA. Yeah.
I tell you,
I didn't know we were going to be puns. Oh no, maybe oh no, I'm going for a tunnel.
Only
guys.
the MALLS GOTHS. Only the MALLS GOTHS.
Yes.
So
Visigoths do not understand these puns.
What are these puns you speak of? Is that a weapon?
Puns? Can you eat it?
Is that bludgeoning
I mean,
weapon?
I can definitely use it to get my point across. Am I right?
Yeah.
Hey.
Okay.
Y'all are already at home here on this channel. I don't know what to say. Like, You're giving one of the hosts, Pruitt, a run for his money. This is great. So here was the pitch that I sent our players for this week's adventure on Visigoths versus MALLS GOTHS. So it's that time of year again when the various holidays make their way out of the memories of yesteryear and into the malls of America. But could there be more to the mythos of a quantum-leaping, red-suited jolly man whose sentimental commercialism is both timeless and temporary? There is something mysterious behind this year's Mall Santa that seems to muster the feelings of something familiar. Echoes from the past. The Visigoths are certain that they have seen this white-bearded man's visage before, and the MALLS GOTHS have heard rumors that this particular Saint Nick of La La Land is in fact a legendary art house cinema character actor looking to earn a living during this festive season. Still, the various store owners have their own theories, thoughts, and ideas. Who will follow the clues and uncover the facts as to just who is the man behind the Mall Santa? Can the Goths uncover the true identity of the elusive holiday elf? So that's sort of our framework. The system takes place over the course of a day where the Visigoths and MALLS GOTHs are patroning the mall, as they are wont to do in the 90s. And our players will be split into two teams, our Visigoths and our MALLS GOTHs. Why don't we start with our players who are playing Visigoths, and we'll start to describe our characters. I believe it is Aki and Drak. Santa's Scooby-Doo villain chat? Yes, absolutely. That might have been where I got the idea. I was running out of ideas. I was like, oh, what can I do? I'll watch cartoons and steal from them. No, I didn't do that, but I could have. Drak, why don't you start and describe your Visigoth, and then one of the MALLS GOTHs will point out your embarrassing trait, and then Aki will do the same.
Okay. So I'm using the Conqueror playbook for my Visigoth. His name is King Uric. Whether or not anyone actually acknowledges him as king, because he has been displaced from his time and location, I don't think anyone really cares, but he likes to emphasize that he's a king, and he'll point that out to everyone. But yeah, he's King Uric. What's some things? Pronouns he, him. And he's glowing. So I think one of the things is that Visigoths have been displaced from time, and they can be glowing because of the time travel. King Uric is still glowing, and he absolutely thinks he's like a touch from like one of the gods. He's 100% sure that he's like blessed, and like he thinks he's destined for great things, and the glow is evident of that. Goth style. He's wearing I'm just reading over this and haven't decided everything. He's wearing a bone and sinew hoodie from the last hunt he did just before he got like suddenly teleported through time and space. What else? Heretical Christian, which I think works with the whole thinking he's blessed by God thing. And no, yeah, he's just pretty cool. He thinks he's pretty cool. There's nothing wrong with anything. There's nothing wrong with him.
Not anything except Liv. What's embarrassing?
Lucian, do you agree?
On which one? Oh, wait, let me see.
I messaged you.
Yeah, definitely.
Except for the fact that he was dumped by a famous lover. And yes, there is time travel, but history is history. It's recorded. It's worse than the daily gossip or whatever. There is record in the history books of this
it wasn't like dumping. It was like it was a mutual thing. It was like we both decided that maybe it just wasn't, okay.
Maybe Salieri did an opera on it that was lost to time, but then uncovered last year, remixed in the 90s.
I can't wait to find out what your lover was famous for and how embarrassing it was that you got dumped by this person.
Yeah, no. Hopefully you'll never have to find out, because I'm just gonna say again, it was just a mutual thing. We both agreed. It was yeah.
Yeah.
It was a mutual thing as a micro RPG by Grant Ellis, in which you falsify your past relationship. No. All right. And Aki, who will you be playing?
Okay. Yeah, I am playing a runecaster, name TBD, because I haven't had a chance to really think about it just yet. But their pronouns are they, them. And I think they're glowing just a little, and maybe much like the king thinks that the glow is proof of his greatness. I think that the glow, the just the tiniest bit of glow the runecaster has is kind of their sort of I still have my power, I still have my magical abilities are still with me. Their goth style, I think they're like a colorful tunic type. They like to wear fancy embroidered stuff. It's very loud. You can usually see them coming from a mile away, except when you can't because they can make themselves invisible. And I would say that they're a Germanic polytheist as opposed to a heretical Christian. Um, they draw their source of power from many gods, not just one. Uh, maybe maybe their name is Yavik.
Yavik.
Yeah.
And on Zoom, if you could add your character's name just to your Zoom names, it'll help me remember. And I'll keep you straight. And Yavik sounds pretty rad, though there must be some embarrassing trait. Malgas, what have you identified?
Oh,
Hmm.
1 second.
Right.
What about um hmm, bad dancer?
Bad dancing.
Bad dancer?
Look, it's not my fault that they play fun, funky music in the mall, and it just makes me want to dance. It's like if you play safety dance, I've got to do the safety dance, even if it's not good.
When you do it, it's the danger dance.
It is. I get a little bit flaily with it. It's a little flaily, but
Yeah.
it could be worse. It could be worse.
The night the Visigoths were taught the electric slide was one to be
Oh, hell
remembered.
yeah. Many foes fell
Definitely.
Exactly.
Like I just added a little bit of extra magic zap to my moves.
Yes.
Every time I would kick myself into a turn, a little electric bolt comes off my toe.
Brilliant.
Amazing.
And that leaves our Malgoth. Now, Liv, why don't you describe the Malgoth you'll be playing tonight?
Okay, I'm going to be playing a Morgoth named Rini. She, her pronouns. She is a fairy goth because she is the witch. So she just leaned hard into it. She is a recent Wiccan. She's very, very dedicated to it. And yeah, so she's all about that sort of dark, ethereal look. When I'm actually pulling up the sheet, I have all my notes here. She is very persuasive. Some might call her pushy. She likes persuasive. And she's just really cool. She's got the aesthetic, she's got the magic kind of, she dedicates herself to the look and really pulls it off as she struts down the mall in those crawlers that are definitely way too tall for her. But, how else do you strike an imposing figure?
She's quite imposing. However, there's a trait about her that's just a little, Drak, Aki, what can you tell us about Rini?
Do you wanna say it?
Sure. The unfortunate thing about this young lady is that her voice cracks.
Oh no! Oh no!
She's got that sex. She looks intimidating. She looks imposing. But every so often, her voice cracks.
Oh,
I don't even know if I can do a voice crack. Okay, this will be fun.
Pick a musical number and just crack it. Auditioning.
Yeah, terrible. Yeah, she's tried really hard to get into the musical number every year at school, but she just gets stage fright. It's bad.
Now all I hear are various Dionne Warwick numbers in my head, but the voice is cracking. I'm just oh gosh. I'm not going to... Chad, I promise to not bludgeon your ears with that. Now, Lucian, tell us about your goth you'll be playing, your Malgoth.
So my mall goth is a theater tech. His name is David Rosen, but he really wants everyone to call him Devil. So people keep calling him Dave, David, Davy, all of these things, and he's like, no, it's Devil. He, him pronouns. He looks like a young Trent Reznor, so like that dyed black sort of pineapple hair, really pasty. Like he puts on like extra white face makeup to look even more pasty. He's kind of a little bit too sweaty. He always wears like a long sleeved fishnet shirt and black cargo pants, high knee-high Doc Martens. He's got multiple rings on each finger, but most of them are those like sort of cheap metal eyes, and he'll like stack multiple eyes on one finger. His family's Jewish, but he considers himself a Satanist. But he's a Satanist in the sense that he like goes on dial-up and goes onto GeoCities websites and learns about Satanism from like these terrible websites with like spinning graphics. So that's the type of Satanist he is.
I feel attacked. You're describing my whole 90s brands, like with my 37 GeoCities accounts to get the free space. I'm going to use this one for my images, this one for my middies, and this one for my real feelings.
David's he's on a lot of like Satanist web rings, and he's really proud of like the fact that he got membership. He had to talk to some sysadmins on the telephone to actually get admitted to some of these web rings. So
that's great.
It's high status for him.
I hear rumors that Beelzebub 3636 has signed his guest book.
Yeah,
and,
it's true. It's true.
The guest book, the web ring,
the web ring, the guest book, all of it. Yeah.
All right, got to fan myself after that. However, beyond the web rings, there is an embarrassing trait that Devil is known for.
Yeah. Despite wanting to be known as a devil, they just have an unusual amount of cheer, like they're a prep school student. It's really weird. Like it doesn't fit for some reason. But I mean, to each their own, I guess.
Perfect. Yeah, he definitely goes to like a private prep school. His parents are like pretty conservative. He actually
paid for like something to be built on campus. Like there's something in the Rosin building.
Yeah, exactly. There's like a plaque. There's a plaque somewhere. He's trying really hard to get rid of that image, but he's actually a pretty good student.
Oh gosh, we're stressed. Yes, we're stressed about this. Yeah, my hand-me-down TI-81 calculator, the batteries don't work as you're sitting there with your TI-85.
My beautiful TI-85 graphing calculator with Drug Wars preloaded onto it.
Well, this is great. And I think we're about at the point where we can sort of put us in our first scenes. So I want you to imagine as you're all in the mall, and I'm going to let you pick your starting locations for this. You can hear the Chipmunks rendition of Christmas Don't Be Late coming over the speakers. It almost sounds like it's being hand cranked through the mall. There is a large carousel where younglings with looks of glee on their faces are going roundabout on these ceramic horses, and there's a lot to do in the mall. However, it is at this point that the mystery of the mall Santa begins. So we're gonna set a scene. So where do we think our Visigoths would be right now in the mall? So there is a mall list and a bunch of different stores. The way it works is we can talk about maybe the conversation that you're having in the store at the time. There will be clerks in the store. They are romanceable for the most part. They're part of the scene.
I feel like, well, I know what for sure what King Eric would be talking about. Whether or not Yvette is even listening is another story, but I think he's recounting yet again one of his great exploits in battle. and just talking about how he's probably got like a wolf like hood, like a cloak made of the wolfy skin recently. I mean,
I think if that's the case, then maybe we're like hanging out in the food court, like eating lunch in the food court or something like that.
yeah, he's sitting there with, like a fry in his hand, like. And let me tell you, when it jumped at me, I thought I was gonna die, but then this is how I know that I'm one of the chosen. But then lightning struck just out.
I imagine the food court you're at the tables just outside of Lemon Theodosius, which is a common Visigoth haunt, and there are two. There's currently a Visigoth girl with long stringy hair there, not quite eavesdropping to the achievements, but is just sort of listening in to the great exploits.
He's got really like the most colorful, like slushy, he's talking about murdering a foul beast, but it has like the most. He's got like a pink, yellow. He mixes all of his colors in a slushy, basically. Just sitting there, like, hold on a sec, and just slurps it. But
and where would our MALLS GOTHS be right now? Are they at the same place, or are they someplace else?
I think we are maybe nearby, but not quite in the same place. So.
I feel like there's the internet cafe next to it.
Yeah, we could be in Floppy Joe's Cyber Chili, getting some chili, and I would be checking obviously my GeoCities web rings, seeing if
that's the whole
anything.
Reason why we're there. You were like, wait, we need to check in on them, and I was like, no, of course, I totally get it, and so we went.
So my question is, Devil, have you seen this Mall Santa's face show up on any of the web rings?
Well, so here's the thing, right? There's a lot of the web rings have been talking about how Santa is an anagram for Satan. And so like sort of talking about this whole conspiracy theory, right? Are Santa and Satan actually one and the same entity? Is Santa in fact the infernal lord of hell himself? And
he could be, like, you heard of Krampus. He could be Krampus in disguise.
He could be Krampus in disguise, right? It could be, there's a lot of things that could be going on. So there's that whole conversation happening. And then because of this, there's been an investigation into the various Santas of different malls of Southern California, sort of looking into whether or not any of these particular mall Santas may have ties to Satanism, or at least, something kind of spooky.
It's all connected. It is,
If you draw the lines, it's going to.
That's right.
I've seen some shit in my day. Sorry. So we're gonna start with the Visigoths at Lemon Theodosius, and so Javik. To find the right part of my lungs to say it from. How you're listening to the great exploits of King Eric. How do you feel about this, and sort of what is your general response to it? Or are you talking to the store attendant? There's a fellow Visigoth there who is serving the lemony liquid refreshment.
I think that when they get in and they first sitting down, as soon as King Uric starts in on the story, like Javik kind of like does a very loud slurp of their drink. Oh, I'm already out. I think I'm gonna have to go and get me some more. I'll be right back. Continue.
I'll pause the story. I was really getting to a good part. I don't want you to miss it. So I'll wait for you to come back.
I'm sure I'll be able to hear it from wherever I am.
Okay. I'll project. I'll project. Okay, cool.
Yeah, that should be totally fine. Nobody should be bothered by that at all.
Yeah, Wolfie calls out too and says, "We're showing greater respect, our king, by turning our backs while you talk, as to not let our eyes distract us, and that our two ears, might pay perfect attention. Our king,
I'm glad. I'm very glad that the respect hasn't been lost, despite the fact that we've been sent to wherever this place is. I'm still not entirely sure, but I appreciate that. Thank you. So where was I? And the sort of wolf jumped at me. I'm just gonna keep
Yeah.
going.
I don't
So-
suppose you can spike this with anything stronger, can you? Just
Kind of
anything.
looks around, and she says, "We have some options." And she pulls out a battle axe. She goes, "No, this is a pretty strong additive. But also we have Slurpees from yonder 7-Eleven, and they come in many flavors beyond lemon. And we also have chocolate bars." And she pulls out like a stocking. She goes, "That I conquered from mall patrons," and she dumps it out, and it's actually like a bunch of really good chocolates in there. Like there's all kinds of like a Godiva assortment. Someone was really going all out, so this would be considered like a great bounty in the world of stolen chocolate.
You have conquered well, my friend. I'll take a little of that. But why would they leave their chocolate so poorly attended in the first place? Or did you conquer them in glorious battle?
No, I used the ancient art of deception. You see, they were all lining up to take a picture with this strange bearded man who was quite large, much larger than a cow, but his face was stern and strong. And they gathered around him, and then they said, cheese, which is a dairy product, I have learned, and then he took $20 from them.
Perhaps it is we who are in the wrong business. They gave him $20.
$20.
Money.
Cold, hard cash to take an expression. It was actually warm dollar bills, and he acquired the sum, which is much more than I make here. This individual must be pulling in hundreds of dollars a day.
Did you see anything else of interest from this particular the face you mentioned? Excuse me, a stern face. Any other defining features?
A glorious white beard, like the Norse god Wotan. And when she says Wotan, lightning strikes like somewhere in some other RPG that's like about Nordic people versus Cardis or something like that.
King Yurik is like, the lightning struck just like that. It was just like that. So basically, it just goes back into his story. This whole time he's been yelling a story out.
Well,
Yurik is quite bold, is he not?
yeah, very much so. But interesting. I don't know if I've had the opportunity to cross paths with this person. Did you have a name?
A local family from not around these parts called him Pi Noel. I heard some other localings call him Father Christmas, but most people call him Santa Claus. And there's another lightning strike that just happens to be incidental. I think there might be a storm in the area. It's LA, it's hard to tell. There was a thunderstorm recently in LA, and so
Whenever thunder strikes at the name of Santa Claus, there's a strange smell of peppermint that sort of wafts through the mall.
And then we realize that it's actually somebody at the Bath and Body Works passing out samples of their new candles and lotion line.
Interesting. Well, I don't suppose there's any other relevant or important information that you think I should have.
well,
I
do you wish to discuss Father Christmas in the future?
of course, if you learn anything more about this Father Christmas, I would be interested in learning about it.
Perhaps we could discuss Father Christmas at the roller rink in this very mall after my shift.
Are you attempting to ask me out on a courtship ritual?
She melts like an unattended lemon juice frozen snack, and she goes, her voice cracks like Rini the Mall Goth, and she goes,
I find this.
"It could be a friend thing."
No, I find this to be an acceptable proposition. I enjoy placing wheels upon my feet and zooming around a wooden floor.
Perhaps King Yurik could find himself a partner to skate as well. I want to see if he can skate as well as he battles, for perhaps if he fails at the skate, he will lose his ranking amongst our people.
A dual courtship ritual. I see. Well, it is worth seeing whether or not he can even get a date. I am not entirely sure you know this, but he has definitely struggled in that area.
Yurik, she calls out, a quest for you, our noble king.
Quest?
Yes.
Yeah, I'll accept any quest. I can take on any quest.
Your valor must be proven. You must find yourself a partner for the skating rink this evening, where we will discuss Santa Claus lightning strikes. It must be someone. It must be someone that you feel either secret or open attraction to.
I'm not in a place right now to. I'm trying to find myself right now.
I do believe you said, King Yurik, that you would accept any quest.
Be the partner on the rebound or not. You must find yourself a partner.
Yes, I'll find. You know what? I actually have someone in mind already. I actually have someone who I can ask right now if I wanted to.
Are they here?
It might be. I think they go to another mall.
Sorry.
Deep cut.
Oh, the trauma.
But I'll figure something out. But yeah, no, I will take on this quest.
Phones? You could always call them at this other mall.
Perhaps we escort King Yurik to.
I think I can actually do this. I can do this myself. While you're, I'll just run over to you, but Yabek can just go, hey, just take another smoothie, and just I give them some money to buy another smoothie, and I'm just gonna run off as fast as I can.
All right. And how does Yavik respond?
Sticks the money in their pocket. This is like.
You are quite.
So I will see you later tonight then to do a bit of zooming on wheels.
We shall roll. She says. With
I can't wait to show you my slick dance moves.
They will be written of in the books. The record shall be kept in pictures. And they then we're gonna cut our scenes over to the cyber cafe, where so tell me what it looks like right now in there. I imagine it smells like good American cuisine. There's a lot of hot dogs, chili, and
yeah. I think there's definitely one of those big like neon posters on the wall that says surf the information superhighway, and it has like a surfer guy like on a CD-ROM disc like surfing on waves of like ones and zeros.
Yeah, and you hear the Paul Simon and Steve Martin rendition of Silver Bells coming over the speaker. Silver Bells.
Yeah.
A time for eggnog and rum. And it's just sort of like playing. And then, describe what Rini and Devil have gotten themselves caught up in examining these web rings of Satanism.
I think we're sharing a computer because God knows we're not going to pay for two separate computers.
Yeah.
But Rini has like a big plate of like chili cheese fries, and she's like sitting cross-legged in the chair, like peering over Devil's shoulder. She's just like munching on the fries, and is trying to read over his shoulder.
Devil really wants some, but it's not kosher. But he doesn't say that's why, because he's a Satanist, but he's still not going to eat the not kosher.
Do you want? You can like.
No. I'm not hungry. It's fine. I'm not hungry. Hungry. And he's just like you can see him just like staring at the fries with like deep desire.
She like grabs like way too much, like a kind of a gross handful, and just shoves it right in. It's just so like this whole Santa thing, like what's going on?
Well, oh God, fries. Anyway, so if you look at the web ring that was made by Judas 667, who lives across the street from the devil, then you would know that there are supposed to be at least 3 different mall Santas in the Los Angeles suburbs who are all in some way or another connected to our Dark Lord. So the question I have is, sorry, fries. Anyway, the question that I have is the Santa at our mall one of them, or is he a dud? Right? Is this Santa here just like some guy who needed a job?
Yeah, no, like my cousin, he'll dress up as Santa and go into the neighborhoods. Like he says majoring in theater, like he's in college. It's really hard apparently. I don't know, but that's what he does during winter break.
Yeah. So. Yeah, he should do something easier, really easier than theater. I heard that it's a lot easier to do like investment banking. I mean, that would be not very cool though. Anyway,
fuck college, am I right?
Right about this time, a pair of slacks kind of like appears behind you. This is like, I don't know, the first ghost in The Sixth Sense that walks by the camera. Pair of slacks going, no, a good way to make money. Internet gambling. Just kidding, kids. And it's Joe. It's Floppy Joe. He was like, so, 'tis the season to give everyone an extra 30 minutes of internet time out of the goodness of our heart. And the fact that, old Floppy Joe's come into a little extra, a few extra minutes on these telephone lines. Remember, back in those days, dial-up tied to your phone bill.
Very true. Very true.
Thank you, Mr. Joe.
Thanks.
You wouldn't happen to know, Mr. Joe, if there's anything unusual about, well, you know that SANTA? SATAN
54NT4.
Do you know that
Leet speak.
that well, the fellow in red, you know,
the one with the big bag.
The fellow in red. Do you know if there's anything unusual about that man?
It's one of those things where the lights in the internet cafe kind of get dark and a single light kind of spots over Joe. He goes, MALLS Santa. There are several things unusual about that man. Have you noticed how he never removes the hat? How though he may shake like a bowl full of jelly, he moves like a demon, like something possessed.
Like a demon. And you see that Devil's eyes just sort of, sparkle with desire, like as the same kind of desire they sparkled with when he was looking at the forbidden fries.
Yes, I have noticed there is something strange about him, and I have my own theories. But you would have to, well, we talk about it on my BBS, what with my internet information superhighway pals, that World Wide Web.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Like us. I mean, we're here all the time. You can tell us.
Yeah, we're definitely part of your cult. Part of your club of people who like the world.
Devil. You know no cult refers to itself as a cult. We happen to call ourselves a collective. Here, let me pull up Telnet. And then he hits a button and he types in Telnet on the command prompt. And he starts typing in a series of numbers, which could only be IP addresses. But you notice this one's server ends in .666. So he hits enter. And he accesses their secret Santa BBS. It's the Santa conspiracy ring. And He goes, now, it's John Stamos. He says, and like, you just see a comparison. There's Mall Santa and then Full House actor John Stamos with his Elvis hair and, you know, just side by side. They don't look anything alike. He's like, you got to read between the lines.
Wow. Uncle Jesse is the mall Santa?
Uncle Jesse.
Reenie's trying to act cool, but she's fucking juiced out of her mind. She's hyped. She's like, no fucking way, John Stamos. But she's trying to play it cool.
Once a year when they finish production, Uncle Jesse really lets himself go.
Lets himself go to hell?
Whoa. He covers everyone's ears around him. He goes, yeah. I've always just, you know, he starts to get nervous too. He goes, I think I've said too much. And you notice he just pulls the cord out of the computer. Now you can stop him if you'd like. It'd be a roll.
I want to try to stop him.
All right,
I want to try to stop him with my rappelling and rigging equipment.
Absolutely.
I want to do like a lasso. I want to like, so I think I have like a carabiner, and attached to the carabiner is like a long like rappelling rope. And I just like have it hooked to my cargo pants because I'm that kind of person. So I just grab the rope and I want to try to lasso his hand around that is around the cord and kind of stop that grip.
All right, so it's going to be 2d6 plus any applicable modifiers you think you'd get.
Yeah, but I got a +3 to rappelling and rigging because I'm
very nice.
Hell yeah.
You're not gonna believe this.
Boxcars or snake eyes?
No, it's I rolled 2 5s.
Nice.
Beautiful 5s.
Love
Well,
to see it.
I rolled a 1 and a 3. So at this point, you have rigged. He's like, no, chill. Use. The internet's dangerous.
Reenie is
Dangerous.
just sitting there eating fries still, unbothered, just watching it.
I imagine it's almost like a spy movie where it's kind of like handcuffing him to a desk. He goes to reach, and then you carabiner him to it. Like, oh, this
And then
small,
I'm like,
fragile.
Yes. Mr. Joe, I'm sorry to do this to you, but I need to know more about Uncle Jesse and Santa.
He starts sweating, and it's either meat sweats from all the heavy protein he's been eating here, or the heat from that solo spotlight that's like 1,000 watts that's beating down on him, or he is in fact nervous, or it could be the fires of hell. At this point, he's going to say, if you convince him to say his name backwards, and I don't know what Stamos backwards is, he reveal his true form.
Oh, wow. That's great. So I just have to get Santa to say Somats.
Somat. And with that, Joe disappears in a puff of smoke, because why not? If we say Somat 3 times, Floppy Joe disappears. He's actually on break. Is there anything else?
Mandated.
Anything else you'd like to do in this scene?
I think before the scene fades to black, since Joe is gone, I'm going to go into the kitchen area and see if there's any chili that doesn't have cheese in it or cheese that doesn't have chili in it, so that I can have a kosher snack.
You can just have the fries.
They're
all mushed together.
That's true. They get microwaved together.
There is a kosher section in the chili. It's almost like a chili bar. He's been working on this idea of a chili bar, and he really would like to cater to a variety of dietary needs. There's vegan chili, yes. There's kosher chili, and
So
yeah.
I'm gonna straight up steal vegan chili while he's gone.
No,
is anything stopping me from doing this?
Yes, there's a Visigoth in there, whose name is Yorick, and he goes, no, that chili is for those that have paid.
He
like rises.
Reenie's gonna step in front and just We did pay. We've been sitting here paying for a while. I just need extra chili on my fries. It's no big deal, right?
We will
Would
let my
you-
gods
would you
decide if you paid or not. And he
Are you
kind of-
trying to say that my friend here is a liar?
First off, Rini is a liar. Second off, Rini has no friends. Sorry. You're right.
I
Throws
say,
down.
I
Yeah.
say.
His flaw is asshole, and so he just embodies a giant one. So
That's so funny. God, it's so funny that a reject from his own time period is sitting here and telling me that I don't have friends. That's really crazy. I might not have friends,
Single
but he's
tier.
definitely made an enemy.
And I stare him down and I say, "Alas, poor Yorick. Those are fighting words."
all right. So
I just imagined Rini's voice cracking the entire time she said
Oh,
that to
100%.
him.
a reject from your time. So Yorick says, "Listen to my mighty cry," and then charges into battle. So this is going to be, you're either going to definitely step out of the way, stiff arm him, cause him to comically fall into the chili you're not going to eat, or he's going to be just like a wall, and then you'll open him up like a door and get your chili, or reveal something else about him.
I think despite the fact that I think that I am better at talking threateningly than I am at actually fighting. Are you any good at fighting?
I will throw down. I don't know if I'm good
You're
at
gonna cast a
it.
spell on him.
Let's see what happens, because I will
will.
back you up, but I'm gonna like talk big and then not be very useful.
That's fine.
You might
That sounds
move in
about right.
mysterious ways,
Yeah.
do some of those classic goth dances like picking an apple or turning from a fetus to a tree, you know, like
Yeah,
these
exactly.
dances that were popular in the 90s.
Are those the industrial sort of punch dances that are
Floor
not
punches?
actually they're not very good punches. though.
Floor
Yeah.
They're
punches,
just these punches are purely decorative.
thumbs on the insides of my fists.
Yeah.
Yes. Rini's going to step aside, and I talked about how she wears ridiculously tall boots. I think she's just going to stick the heel out on one of them and try to trip him.
Perfect.
just a simple trip.
Roll 2d6.
Yeah, that's going to be a 4 and a 6, so 10. I don't think I add anything, but
All right, describe how you totally best Yorick.
Yes.
yeah, no, she like gets in his face, makes a comment about how he's made an enemy, cracks on the very last syllable of that sentence, and then as he starts to move forward, she just like steps back like closer to Devil, so he will have her back, sticks her boot out, and trips him just on this absurdly chunky heel and watches him crash to the floor unbothered.
He hits, and it's like cartoonish, lands on the chin, slides 5 feet. Some other Visigoths poke their heads out, and then they kind of shrug, and then the chili is yours for the taking.
Yeah, and the last thing that happens before this scene fades out, I think, is I'm gonna take the serving spoonful of the vegan chili and just like drip a little bit on his forehead as he's lying there on the floor, and then I'm gonna eat the rest.
It falls.
And they say they're conquerors.
And with that, we finish our first scene and we advance through the day. So for those of you unfamiliar with the game, we have a clock and we advance through the day. We're going to say that we started in early afternoon and we're going to move to the late afternoon at this point. Or that'll give us enough scenes throughout the day. So curious, where are what scenes we'd like to see next? Are you going to end up in the same place? Are you going to end up in different places? Are there any notes you're going to pass to each other? And how it goes next? So, what about our Visigoths?
When was the roller rink date meant to be? What time?
That
of
will be in the evening.
Okay, so you still got time. I think somehow he ends up wherever the Morgoths are. So I'm gonna let them choose, but he just basically just ran because he didn't want to admit that he doesn't have anyone in mind and he's not ready for a relationship. So yeah, no, he just ran in a direction, and he just so happens, because hey, this is a show and it'd be pretty funny to be honest, he just ends up wherever the two Morgoths are.
And are you okay with that, Yavik? We just get both groups together now for the next scene? All right. And Rini and Devil, where are we ending up?
I feel like Remy, correct me if I'm wrong, I feel like the MALLS GOTHS are hot on the Santa case because we need to figure out, is he Satan? Is he John Stamos? Is John Stamos Satan? There's so many questions.
There are so many questions. Yes, absolutely.
What's going on?
So we
I
gotta
think
find Santa.
we're stalking Santa for sure.
Yeah, and right about that time, heterosexual holiday anthem Michael Bublé singing Santa Buddy comes over the speakers. Santa Buddy. Dooba-dooba-dooba-doo.
Oh my god.
Terrible.
It's the worst.
It's so bad.
It's so bad. It's
But
just,
Yavik is getting their groove on too.
Santa buddy.
Wait, hold on. Can I ask? Is that a thing? That's not a thing. Actually,
It's
is
100% a
it?
thing.
Is it? I've
Yes.
never
Santa
heard
Buddy.
it.
The
I've only ever heard
streets-
like Santa Baby. I've never
No.
heard.
Straights are not
no.
okay.
No, the
Shades
streets
are
are
not
not
okay.
okay.
Oh no.
Santa
Okay. Oh, wow. Okay.
The things you learn.
Oh god.
right.
So are we able to sort of track down Santa / Satan / John Stamos by like the sounds of this terrible song, or is it just over the loudspeaker in general?
So you know that about this time of the day, and this is what your printout from the Forbidden BBS Joe provided you, somewhat illegally. He is often seen in Ace of Mace.
That Ace of Mace, great.
Yes.
That's perfect because I feel like, you know, we're gonna have to get some weapons in order to help usher in the apocalypse.
It's about time. It's about
It's
time.
about time.
It's about
We
goddamn
just want to
time.
make sure everybody sees the sun.
That's right. Black hole
Fine.
sun, won't you come?
Black hole
Won't you
sun. Soundgarden
Won't
was
you
underrated.
come? Wash away the rain.
You hear Black Hole Sun playing on a boombox in Ace of Mace, like they're blasting it to try to keep the Buble out of there. And there's two glorious individuals, Pam and Subin, who are working in Ace of Mace at the moment. The walls in the store are covered in axes, bows, whips, all sorts of weapons that a adventuring party would look to get. There's essentially the two girls that are working the counter. There also is the mythical holiday elf kind of hanging around. He's standing by what looks like a giant hammer, but where the head of the hammer would be, it's actually like a giant nutcracker head, and it's just there. It's forged out of some sort of space age metal.
Oh, does the head of the hammer open and close like a nutcracker mouth?
Yeah, you got to squeeze the handle though.
I'm gonna try. I'm gonna go up, and I'm gonna try to squeeze the handle and see if it'll chomp.
Before you squeeze over, Pam slides over and says, "Don't!" And she tries to. If you're not worthy, that hammer could strike you dead. Then Subin calls like, "It won't strike you dead. It'll just not work, which could be embarrassing." Don't embarrass yourself, devil!
Wait, what's going on with the hammer? I just wanted to see if I could make the mouth open and close.
This hammer is special and only appears once every 365 days post Christmas. This hammer is an object of legend here in the mall, for it is the hammer Molyneux, and only the one true goth can squeeze the handle and crack them nuts.
I shoot my glance over at Santa, and I say, Mr. Nicholas, is what they say true? And if so, did you summon this Mollineer to this mall here?
To fill it with cheer.
So, this roughly as wide as a barn individual turns over. You see that his face is lined, and there is a wrinkle for every kid on the naughty list, and a wrinkle for every kid on the nice list. He looks essentially like an old beaten-up catcher's mitt, or something. If you took one of the characters from Lord of the Rings, like one of the wizards, and melted them a little, like you made them out of clay and then melted them. He sort of looks like that, yes. And then he's like a poorly designed Muppet. Like someone in the Jim Henson Creatures Workshop started making a Gorgon, then couldn't decide if they could make it into a Gelfling, and then just said, you know what, we're throwing it out and we're starting over. and
he's larger than a cow.
He is larger, and
that's terrifying.
He turns and he looks and he goes, well, I wait to collect my reindeer from gerbil essences, because you know they are getting groomed during this time. I will confess, it is I who summon the hammer, and I who determine who is worthy of utilizing it for the sacred cracking of nuts.
And what makes someone worthy?
Really, it's an arbitrary system of different cultural nuances bundled up depending on who's in power of the television networks and the specials. It changes from time to time.
You mean you make it up?
You mean it's all bullshit?
It's more sophisticated than that, he says. And he goes,
what is this word sophisticated that you're using? I don't think I'm familiar. And like Yavik walks in at that point, just slurping from their smoothie.
And you just hear Urix just running from the distance saying, did somebody say worthy? And he's just running.
We're going to have a battle to see who's worthy. That's what this is going to turn out to. He's like,
yeah. As soon as the Visigoths come in,
square the fuck up.
Yeah, exactly. I cross my arms across my minuscule chest, and I sort of puff up a little bit, and
Rini like steps in front, and just hands on her hips, ready.
I just like do my best sneer, but I just kind of look like a bar mitzvah boy, and with a Trent Reznor haircut.
Yeah, it's so good.
Yeah. And I'm just like, what are you doing here?
Someone called for some. We're going to conquer them all. We've already conquered many of the stores.
That's so funny because I feel like I just conquered a spot, but go ahead.
Oh, what spot? I'll just conquer it again, I suppose.
Anyway, so this whole hammer worthy thing, hand it over.
Yeah, you called me. You said worthy, so I came. What's going on here?
So, Saint Nick looks and he goes, allow me to consult the sacred text. And he opens up a copy of Theodore Geisel's The Grinch Who Stole Christmas. It was, every Goth down in Gothville, the tall and the small, attempts to lift up the hammer. Something Charles Gall. I don't know, I don't read so great in my old age. Lost my glasses. And then he closes the book.
I don't think he's John Stamos.
Who is this?
At the name John Stamos, he kind of wipes his brow. He goes, I may or may not be. Then you'll be visited by 3 Stamoses this night.
Past, present.
Several Johns Stamoy.
The way this works is you each take a grip on the hammer, and the hammer will choose, out of all Goths present, that wish to participate. So if you wish to participate in the hammer poll, put your hand on. Then it's going to be a dice off between all of y'all, and then to see
Obviously.
I look to Yovek and go, we've been touched by the gods. We're worthy, and yeah, I'm gonna go for it as well.
who. All right.
We're
So-
all gonna try from Mjolnir.
So
Mal-
Mjolnir. That's it. I was reading the book, then out of nowhere, I forget why. I was like, "How do I type umlauts? Because I'm gonna make an item called Mjolnir. Why am I built this like that?" So he lines you up by height. So I'll leave it up to you to decide which of you is the shortest.
I
And
think
heels count towards your height.
I'm gonna be short for sure.
Yeah, Yavik is
Devil's adorable.
Is tall. I think.
Yeah, I think
Like a 6 foot kind of. It's got a cool, top knot kind of situation. Very, very dark skin.
Nice.
Cool, like runes sort of tattooed all over them. Like
Nice.
I think Yavik is the Visigoth that looks more like an actual king. I think King Yurik is pretty short. He's like very lean, but like I think he's probably same height as Devil. I'll say the same height as Devil.
Rini is the same height as Yurik and Devil, but is wearing 6 foot shoes. So she's 6 foot.
6
imagine.
foot shoes.
But, yeah.
6 foot shoes. Whoa.
Guilt.
No, 6 inches. So she will stand next to Yavik.
Yavik
Perfect.
doesn't need any help being tall.
So here's how it works. I'm going to have you dice off against each other height-wise.
Okay.
And then what we'll do is that'll sort of be the elimination rounds. So
Yeah.
let's do Rini and Yavik, and then we'll do Yurik and Devil.
Perfect.
6s.
I have a question. I have a
Yes.
shenanigans question. So,
Embarrassing trait, voice crack as you lift.
what if Rainy gave some very persuasive sort of speech as she tries to pick this up? Would I be able to add my persuade skill to this?
You could persuade someone to maybe not participate.
Ah, I see.
I think I can help you though. I'm gonna use my embarrassing trait to help your roll.
Oh, love.
Yes, because I care more about Malgoth
Supremacy.
supremacy
Yes.
exactly than I do about personally winning this, since I
Okay.
probably can't personally win this anyway. So I think I'm gonna take out of my backpack a like really expensive Kodak like fancy camera,
Yeah.
right? And be like, I'll document this event, and like everybody can see that I have this like really expensive camera and clearly cannot possibly be just like a normal kid. Like
Mhm.
there's something going on.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
Mall Santa totally picks up on this too real quick. He's like, "That's a medium format camera. This is that's not standard film. This is like that's a 65 millimeter lens. What are you doing?"
Taking
I want-
pictures for his mom's yearbook or yearbook scrapbook.
My mom, yes. I just want to make sure that the quality is really good when we win. But he's obviously
He kind of eyeballs you. He's like, the Rosen family often does not show up on any of my lists. He goes, but they are well known for their charitable works. And he goes, we may have to have a conversation later.
and I just stare at him and I'm like, I'm not Christian.
No, you are not.
And that is why you do not show up on his list, I imagine.
Yeah.
True.
All right, and he's baffled. He's like, all right. So that's going to help Rini. And Rini, I will let you persuade one of them not to participate, but it's still going to be a roll-off. Which goth are you going to try to persuade to not do this?
I think she's going to zero in on Yurik. And is just going to go up to him, pat a hand on his shoulder, and is just like, look, just step aside. Everybody here knows who you are.
Of
Your
course.
past. It's not always the best
I've
look.
conquered many.
I know that's not what people say about you. And this is just something that you don't want to add to your long list of bad reputations. But if you step aside, I can put in a good word around them all.
Put in a good. I'm King Yurik. King Yurik is the good word.
No, people don't talk that good word, hun.
Santa chimes in. He goes, King Yurik, who is supposed to appear at tonight's roller rink. It has been announced.
Wait, it's been announced?
Yes,
wait.
while buying a lemon
that King
Theodosius,
Yurik!
he picks up a lemony drink too. He goes, I paid a visit to the food court, and I was told of your great exploits and of anything you could conquer. Will you be seen alone tonight? Bad look.
So awkward.
Shady Santa.
I'm gonna. he's gonna pill Rini down closer. Okay,
Yes?
listen. If you go to the roller rink with me, I will back out of this. Okay, I don't have a date. I don't particularly want one because like I think you might have heard. I don't know if you heard about it, but like
You got dumped.
it wasn't. We didn't get. It wasn't. I didn't get dumped. It was a mutual thing. We mutually agreed to be friends.
Sure.
We
Yeah.
haven't talked since, but like we agreed to be like.
So you got dumped.
Listen, if you go with me, I will. At least just pretend I will back out.
On the
You can hold my
first
hand
day
for
of
5
Christmas.
minutes, and we will do one couple skate. And you also have to
Deal.
buy me fries
Fine. Yeah, sure. I'll buy you fries.
and a large soda.
I honestly, I assumed the last soda kind of came with it, but sure.
2. Deal.
So
Okay.
here's how we're going to use this now. So I'm not going to make you roll because you made a deal. We'll count the bonus to the roll. Now, are you going to activate your embarrassing trait, Yurik, to help give Yavik a bonus to their roll in the one-on-one where Mall Santa and everyone else there, like Subin's like, wait, you were dumped? No.
I wasn't. It wasn't like I didn't get dumped. Okay, it was
We read the blogs.
the blood.
They made a
always like-
Winamp skin of it.
Oh no!
Like there's this like broken heart
no.
Winamp skin on their monitor.
Yeah, no, I'm just gonna just shuffle to Yavek and just go, hey, please, can you just win this? Just to like, if you win this, people might just stop talking about me and Grisenda. Like, it will just like please just win this for me, and that's gonna be me giving Yavek my +3.
We updated to Real Player 7 to listen about this story. Sorry. Well, no more 90s references out of me for at least 5 minutes.
Yeah, but please, I feel like if you do win this, everyone will just at least for like today stop talking about the mutual breakup. But like people hopefully
I'll
stop
do what I
talking about
can.
it.
I'll do what I can. Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
That's me using my embarrassing trait as a +3.
All right. So it's going to be a roll-off between Yavik and Rini to see who picks up Molinir.
I wanted to negotiate something as well.
Yes.
May I use my levitate to give myself another bonus in order to do this?
I was also
Absolutely.
gonna ask,
Absolutely.
do I get the persuade bonus or no?
So you were going to use the persuade to get one of them out. So
Yes, that's there was just like a thing
would-
where you're like, I'll give you the bonus. I wasn't sure what bonus you're talking about.
So here's how we're gonna do it. I believe that. Here's how I ruled it fictionally. That changed the terms of the deal, which turned it into a one-on-one instead of a free-for-all, which
Fair.
improved the odds. And then Devil embarrassed himself to get you a bonus on the roll.
Yeah.
Yurik
Okay.
embarrassed himself and now has
And
to
that's
buy you
okay.
a plethora of food. So we can do straights.
A feast.
I would allow the
the
Why don't you just throw in all of your
Smart.
bonuses? Why don't you throw in all of your bonuses? Because it makes sense. You were going to persuade. We're down with this. It's part of the fun.
We essentially each have +5 to both of these.
Yes.
Cool.
Oh, I have +6.
This is going to be the highest roll
There we go.
in Visigoths versus MALLS GOTHS that has ever happened.
I'm sorry. I
world
don't know
record.
why I'm throwing so much shit behind this, but
And they say
fine.
RPGs are not competitive. Nobody wins, but
It is a very cool hammer, so it's fine.
Nobody wins, but somebody loses.
All right. Well, I rolled a 15, so
okay, I rolled an 11 because even with my +3 and then the +3, I only got a 5.
no, this is great. Like, Yavik picks you up right out of your boots, and like it almost looks like your legs detach.
Yeah.
As Molinare goes up, you lose your grip a little, and I imagine Yavik like catches you in the other arm, and Mall Santa like turns to the audience of 2 behind the counter and goes, "Behold, the worthiest Goth in all
Yes.
of Los Angeles."
A mighty win for the Visigoths once again. Yes, Yavik. And he like just pats, like jumps up to pat Yavik on the back.
if it makes you feel any better, I think you might have come out with the better end of this deal. Yurik's a pretty nice guy. And then they set her down.
I cannot believe I now am stuck on a date with the most embarrassing Visigoth in this entire goddamn mall.
Well,
Ooh, I thought you were
I
on a
mean-
date with me. What is what you talking about? You're on a date with King Yurik.
I mean, I guess, I could also go and we could hang out if I find a date. Then you won't
Yeah,
have
let's
to
get you
talk to him.
Devil, let's get you a date.
Why don't you ask Santa?
And he looks over at Santa, and the gears start turning in his mind.
You know, one of my elves are about your age. Whatever happened to predictability, the milkman, the paperboy, evening TV, and he fades away, and like
He
sparkly
fades away.
yes, like Yoda dying in Return of the Jedi. And then you notice it's one of those things where he's like just doing his hands, kind of like Wayne and Garth from Wayne's World, and he like walks behind a column, but like he's wide as a cow, so like you still see him. He kind of
King
peeks out.
Yurik's like, where did he go?
I'm
What
just
witchcraft and wizardry
I'm just
is
gonna
that?
poke his side. Because his side's kind of sticking out from behind the.
Yeah, he shakes like a
I'm
bowl
gonna,
full of
I'm
jelly.
gonna poke him like the Pillsbury Doughboy and see what happens. And I'm gonna say, well, I really think that you should come to the skating rink with me on this triple date, Mr. Somats. Somats.
All right.
Somats.
All right. It sounds like an Eddie Van Halen guitar lick just goes off, eruption. There, fire shoots up, and like he catches on fire like a really old Twisted Sister music video or something like that, and then like his hair erupts into this massive Elvis plume. And Satamos is summoned, which is a combination of Scratch. That's Beelzebub to the layman, or Satan, and John Stamos. This is like a Dragon Ball fusion hybrid that only exists at this time of year.
While this was occurring, is there one thing I could do before it all pops off?
100%.
Yavik kind of scooches out of the store really quickly, and I'm going to use my once per day move really fast. They pull out one of their rune stones and they scratch out a small rune on the side of the store, and then they go back inside and they try to find the most badass weapon they could get their hands
You have it
on.
in your hand, Molinare.
Oh, the second most badass then in here.
Britney Spears isn't
Britney Spears! So you have the Britney
Yeah.
Spears spear.
Yes, I grab the Britney Spears spear and I just give it to Rini.
Yes.
I might have been wrong about you.
Hey, you fought well and with honor. Might as well get something out of it.
Thank you.
So Satamos
Ooh. He says.
Shut up, devil!
Yavik, are you going on a date with Brini? I mean, I
No.
suppose like I could. I mean, I was gonna go on a date with her, but since
No,
it seems
you're
to be
going on a date with Rainy.
Okay.
I already have secured that. If you, in case you missed it, somebody asked me out.
Yavik and Rini sitting in a tree.
I don't know. It just seems to be a thing they do with
Rainy shoves the spear under Devil's chin.
Yeah, sitting in a tree. Sorry.
And with
This
that,
is all yours.
so you've managed to discern the identity of Mall Santa, and he's like, You must have logged on to the forbidden BBS. You must have violated 350 different terms of services and belong to several exclusive web rings. I will make a deal with you, devil. For you will learn what it means to make a deal with the devil. Then he realizes that's a little redundant, and he's like, Need to polish my monologue. It's been a while.
Yes. What can you offer me, O Dark Lord?
A date to the roller skate tonight. But I warn you, it will come with a price.
Oh, no price is too high to be able to go with you to the skate.
You fool! I cannot skate. However, it is quite flattering. But you will take my child, Salvatore! And then, like, they snap their finger, and, like, there's this, like, really cool, genderqueer, hip, like, you can tell they probably listen to the Velvet Underground, but they also probably listen to a lot of Belle and Sebastian, and like they're just like, you know, trendy, and but in a kind of hipster pre-trend kind of way, like they're the forthcoming. However, they speak with a mouthful of braces. Keith, devil, I'd love to go with you. Shiny teeth.
I love that.
Devil thinks they're cute. And,
I'm adorable. Little dark eyes.
Yeah, and Devil's like, wow, I feel like I'm staring straight into the year 2013. This is amazing. I would love to go with you to the skate.
I'm from the future. Everyone will laugh at us. And then, like, we teleport. And I think that's where we're going to end that scene. Rini, did you have something you wanted to add?
No, I was just Rainy was just gonna pat Devil on the shoulder, like,
Oh, fuck.
yeah, maybe she did end up okay.
Yeah.
After all.
Satan Mose is like, you will not see me until the reunion show. And then disappears in sulfur and brimstone. So I think with that, we're going to move to our last scene where we will actually go to the skate since we've hyped it up and we've set it up, Molineer in hand. So Yavik, go ahead and describe to me how the skate with Wolfie goes, or if there's anything else you two talk about. So you arrive together.
So I think that Yavik is probably a little bit of a playboy as far as Visigoths go, and like, you know, and Wolfie is cute, you know, and they'll entertain anybody on a date at least once. And it's kind of one of the things where it's like, you know, they said yes, and you know, she had the guts to like ask them out, so it's like, yeah, I'll definitely go them. I think that like they're sort of regaling Wolf with the story of unmasking Santa Claus as Staminos or whatever his name was. But we didn't even have to lift a finger to like defeat him or anything. We unveiled him and he ran like a little baby. Mostly because it seems that he has a bit of a soft spot for his children.
Oh, I wonder, Yavik, if I might ask you something.
Oh, sure.
Is
What
there
it?
another goth or person here who catches your eye more than me?
Oh,
It is you can be honest. My feelings are fragile, but they'll heal.
I mean, I am tonight you are all I see. Tomorrow, who knows? The day after, the day after. But tonight, for the next however long we're doing this, you're the only goth I have any interest in.
Wolfie like flushes over for the first time, and it's just like, oh my.
Aw.
And let's cut camera over to King Yurik and Rini. So describe your couple skate or meal.
Yeah, I mean, I do think like for most of this, Rini has been like sitting there eating her fries, which I guess is what she survives off. She has the skates on, but she has them like propped up on the seat across from her. She's just sitting there
Oh.
eating.
Yeah, no, I guess I have to lean into it. Yurik is regaling tales again. But I think as he's talking about, it's like, so you probably haven't heard this one before. So the wolf jumped at me.
Right. And there was a lightning strike. Yeah.
Wait, you've heard about my exploits?
You yell in the food court.
Oh.
A girl skates up to the other side of Rini, and she's wearing this neon athletic track suit. And you recognize her as Fatima. In Portuguese, we'd go Fatima, but it's not Portuguese. It's Persian. She's like, sort of like, you two an item now? Like together?
No. She just looks at Yurik.
Yurik's looking at Rini like, oh.
Yeah, Fatima's like, I just want to say, girl, you swept up all them pieces. Picked them right up. Got them back together. This is the best you've looked in a long time, Yurik.
Thank you. I mean, I do want to point out it was like a mutual thing.
It wasn't mutual, but that's fine because clearly he's upgraded.
Yeah, Fatima's best friend like skates up beside Yurik and has like this beautiful pink ponytail, just decked out in tattoos. This is Lakshmi, and she's looks over and is like, "Yeah, you've got your glow back."
Thank you. I have actually, I really mentioned I am fine because I did upgrade. He kind of looks at Rena like, is that okay to say like you're an upgrade? Is that like, no, I'm fine.
Yeah.
We're an item.
For tonight.
Because, as a Visigoth, I have eyes for her today, but we don't know about tomorrow, the day after that.
Yeah, then Fatima
The day
quotes
after that.
some of those classic lyrics and goes, just for tonight, you can pretend it's all right, and they skate away.
When they skate away, he just kind of turns to Rena and is like, he doesn't make eye contact. It definitely looks away and goes, I very much appreciate that. I suppose I was wrong about you Morgoths.
Yeah, no, definitely wrong. We're definitely better than you, but it's okay. Well,
I don't know. I feel like you seem more Visigoth than you know after you wielded that spear. That was very impressive, I just have to say. I think you call it a Brittany spear. Is that a different type? It looks the same as mine.
Britney Spears is a terrible artist, but this Britney spear is pretty cool.
No, yeah, you wielded like a natural. If you ever want a place in amongst the Visigoths, just let me know. I am the king, so I can just say so, and you'll be part of our group.
We don't have kings here, right?
So you're saying I can be the king of here? I can conquer Los Angeles?
No. But we can skate the rink, and you can feel like a king for as long as this song plays.
Okay.
Speaking of the song "Hit Me Baby One More Time" is definitely playing, and like Yavik is like showing off her Wolfie, like doing really bad like skate dancing, like
Yes.
trying to look really, really cool and skating backwards and doing like weird crisscrosses, and then like they totally just eat shit, like end up falling on their ass.
And I think in the extreme background you see Devil, who has taken very expensive skating lessons, doing like phenomenal tricks and like triple lutzes and stuff, while the like satanic elf, like cute genderqueer braces kid is just like standing there mouth agape.
Not only that, they're wearing since they're from the future, the satanic future, they're in a pair of Heelys, so they just like heel and roll with you, and they're just like, oh gosh,
Hell yes.
you must have took lessons, you're really good.
Just like spin.
Dad never pays for lessons for anything, not unless we make a bargain. Says it builds character.
King Yurk is cheering on Yavik. I think King Yurk is 100% certain that all of Yavik's moves are like a war dance, and they're trying to threaten everyone on the dance floor. So they're like, "Yes, Yavik, let's go." And it looks like
Rini
Devil.
like squeezes his hand and is just like, "Do not." And she's like skating, and drags him along.
Okay.
And with that, I think we're going to set the sun on today's adventure in the Mall of Los Angeles. But what I'd like to do is we'll go around and each player will give an epilogue for their character in the aftermath of the unmasking of the Devil May Santa. So we'll go in. We'll do Rini, Devil, Yurik, and then Yavik.
I mean, now that we have discovered the truth behind Santa, I do think Rini, as she meanders through the mall, migrates on her usual mall goth stroll, definitely like keeps an eye out. I think she actually like did some sort of like weird ritual to haunt one of the like presents, that like the fake presents by the tree, just to keep an eye on Santa, see what's really going down. And then in general, just kind of like, I think she makes a show now of trying to like not pick on pick fights with the Visigoths, specifically to see if she could get into a fight with Yurik. Will she talk to him? No, never ever caught fighting or talking, but like picks a fight so he has to come find her and she can like talk to him that way.
Okay.
Amazing. Devil, I think, definitely has a happy ending and a very Merry Christmas.
Hell yeah.
He just ends up, he's in the next few weeks going steady with the spawn of Satan.
This is like the best for you.
It's the best possible ending here. And he even, continues to keep kosher. So everything's really going well for him.
The Devil's actually like the whole family's vegan. Like Satan's really into it.
Yeah.
More about the spice than the protein, actually, but there are quite a bit in beans and other substances.
Like a little heat there.
Little heat.
Oh, King Yurik. Okay, so I do think King Yurik takes any opportunity to fight or to show how worthy he is. So I feel like if he starts hearing about Rini like picking fights with Visigoths, he would eventually show up and be like, just to defend the honor, mainly to front and be like, hey, I'm saving you. Remember, I'm your king. Your king is doing good by you. but no, yeah, they'll definitely
because everybody loves a ruler that reminds them like how much they do for you.
Yeah, like, remember that one time when Rini was picking on you and I just came running. Remember that, okay? Remember that when you're trying to stab me in the back to become the next ruler. Just remember that. And I also think just for the sake of it, I think he really liked that Britney Spears spear. Because I think the spear he has, because he is equipped with a spear, but I think he left his original spear in his time, and the spear he has is like a crochet kind of bat that he's fashioned into a spear. So it's really not that nice, but he's gonna claim ownership of the Britney spear and say that he invented it. I'm gonna use my once per once per day rule and say I invented that Britney Spears spear. So like, you keep picking on my Visigoth people. I will let it slide if you give me back the spear that I invented.
If you can beat me in a fight, sure.
I mean, he will challenge me to a fight for sure.
It's gonna be the first scene in the sequel. It's gonna be the battle. It's gonna be like the Dark Crystal Trial by Stone, and and lastly, Yavik, go ahead and give us your epilogue.
Well, Wolfie was nice for the night, and it was good to spend time with her. She was very sweet. But of course, the next day, as it is and shall always be, I mean, there are other fish in the sea that are waiting for me to catch them. And so I must go about, especially now that I have proven myself worthy of such attentions. We'll have to just continue. I think that the one thing that they do kind of in the same line with Rainy is now and then they'll make themselves invisible and kind of hang out close by to where the mall Santa is. Also, just making sure that he's not causing any trouble for the kitties. The occasional bit of surveillance happening. But I think that Yavik is pretty content with just wandering the mall in the event that there's a fight that breaks out. I think they sort of dub themselves like the sheriff of the mall. It's just like they're there to kind of keep, like, if it's Rainy causing problems, they'll ignore it because they know that there's somebody else who can take care of that. But like that cry for help is not for them. So they take care of others.
It's not a cry for help. I'm fine.
It's not like King Yerk is looking for Rini anyway. It's like, it's just they happen to be running into each other when,
He's just following me around. It's weird.
Just seems to be going to the same places that he's going.
You guys can keep telling yourself that all you want.
And so ends yet another exciting holiday Gothic spectacular. Join us again next year for Visigoths versus MALLS GOTHS on ice. Okay, so now we'll come out of character. We can go around. We'll actually go in reverse order from that. Let our audience know, and for the watchers on YouTube, who we are and where we can find each other online and the other fantastic things that we're doing. So, Aki, great playing with you. Really appreciate you stepping in literally at the last minute.
Yeah.
And then,
a lot of fun.
Amazing.
Absolute hero.
Thank you. That was very, very fun. I'm Aki. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at MixGenie That's MXGINIINABOTTLE. And my entire Twitch schedule can be found over on my personal Twitch channel, twitch.tv/ShidareAki, ShidareAki. And following almost immediately after this at 8 o'clock tonight, you can find me over on Scabby Rooster playing Total Party Kills with the group over there, where we play the monsters in the dungeon instead of the heroes. And that should be a lot of fun. Other than that, it is vacation, and so I'm not doing much else.
all right, well, really appreciate you coming out. Also, Drak, we finally got to play in a game together, and you're one of the people responsible for these nonsense and shenanigans.
No, yeah, I'm very, very happy playing, bringing back King Yerk and being the most annoying character I could think of. God, I'd hate him.
One day, he always manages to top himself. Every time.
Yeah, just every time. Yes, hi, I'm Drak or Draconics. You can find me on Twitter at Draconics. That's DRAKONIQUES. Right now, I'm not really doing much until then, like after New Year's. You can find me, like, we're going to be premiering the first session of the
Rime of the Frost Maiden.
Frost Maiden, yes, on the 12th of January at 3 p.m. Eastern over on Vanna's channel, Havana Realma. You also can find me every Wednesday at 9 p.m. Eastern over on Rule of Law, playing a time traveling lizard boy in a sci-fi system campaign called Infinite Horizon. And every other Thursday, you can find me on Scriv the Bard's channel playing a Warforged monk on Scriv the Bard at 6 p.m. Eastern on Thursdays. But yeah, right now I'm just trying to relax. I did too much in the last few months. I'm just trying not to do anything for at least a week.
Brilliant. Well, really appreciate you coming out and for the excitement and enthusiasm you bring to the channel. So hope to have you back, and that goes for everyone else here. Would love to have you visit here on WebDM's Twitch channel. Also, Lucian, designer of the game, thank you so much for designing it. Where can we find you online? And what are you up to?
Thank you for playing this game. I'm Lucian Khan. You can find me. I'm a game designer. I designed this game. You can find me on Twitter at Otheogony, which is OH_THEOGONY. If you'd like to purchase Visigoths versus MALLS GOTHS, it is available in both PDF and beautiful print copies. You can find links to all of that at necromancy.itch.io. And you can find a lot of my other games there as well. And most of what I'm doing is game design. So I should have some cool surprise new stuff coming for you in February for Zine Quest. And that's about it for now.
And Liv, first time playing with you. You were so much fun to play with. And I hope to see you on mini shows on all the channels in the future as you're able to.
Thanks. I would love to come back. It was a lot of fun. I'm Liv. You can find me on Twitter at live in a day. Live in a day. I like puns. But yeah, live in a day. And I do a couple of things. I'm on Total Party Chill's Under the Table, where we play. We're on our second season right now. We play multiple indie games. Basically, anything that's not D&D is fair game, and we tell a story over the season. Sometimes we switch systems and port the characters over to kind of experiment with different books, see what happens. So it's a good place to find good storytelling games that you might not have heard of before. We're doing a sci-fi season right now. And then in January, I'm going to be on Rule of Lore 2, where I will be playing D&D. I'm going to be part of an all-queer LGBTQA+ gallbladders, an all-queer cast for Water Deep. Sorry, we always make jokes about how it's not that, but Dragon Heist, Water Deep, whatever that campaign is.
What do you mean?
Water Heist, Dragon Deep.
Water Heist, Dragon Deep.
It's like one of those things where we made too many jokes and now I actually don't know what it's called. It's called Into Deep. Into Deep. And yeah, and then I pop around and hang out and do different shows and stuff every now and then. So if you want to know what I'm doing, come check me out on Twitter.
Definitely check her out. And as for me, my name is Grant Ellis. I'm the producer here on WebDM's Twitch channel. Every now and then I show up on the YouTube. You can catch me here on the channel tomorrow, where I'm actually running the Dark Eye. I'm doing yet another one-shot for our players while our game master is vacationing. I'm a designer by trade as well. You can catch my 5th edition campaign setting officially. You can either pre-order it off the Grimworld Kickstarter, or you can get it through 2C Gaming's website. It should be released in PDF form over the next month. It's a fairy tale campaign setting where we designed 8 unique subsystems to supplement 5th edition Dungeons & Dragons with a lot of different variety and styles of play. And I will also be on Thursday producing Torg Eternity. You can always catch me in the pre-shows and the post-shows and the rest of our crew. Also, if you follow me on Twitter at WisePapaGrant, we will be recruiting and casting soon for our next sponsored show, which will most likely be Fading Suns, another game by Ulysses Spila. So thank you all so much for watching, and have an excellent evening. Goodbye.